Hi, I'm Caleb Barlow from IBM Security.
And I'm Phil Buckellew from IBM Mobile First.
And today we are thrilled to talk to you about IBM's announcement of our intention to acquire Trusteer.
Absolutely, Caleb. Trusteer is a fantastic company. We're so excited to have them join the IBM family. This is a company that's been leading in so many ways on the security front with many of our current clients and future clients, and we're so happy to have them join the team.
All right, so why don't we start, Phil, by taking a look at IBM's Mobile First portfolio and how Trusteer fits into that.
Absolutely, Caleb. So we have been assembling the Mobile First portfolio by pulling together a lot of the core IBM technologies that exist around the company, and we've made several acquisitions to fill client needs that are out there today. There's nothing more important than ensuring that our clients are able to make the transition to having mobile businesses, really mobile first businesses. But in order to do that, you've really got to make sure you've got the management, the security, you've got analytics to be able to make sure you know what's going on. And today we're so excited to be talking about how the Trusteer organization is really going to be able to fit into our mobile first overall strategy.
So let's talk about the security approach within Mobile First, which, Phil, has really three key pillars.
Absolutely.
Right? So the first pillar is managing the device itself. So what we're talking about there is provisioning, deprovisioning the device on the network, and also being able to wipe the device if you lose it or if you leave the organization. The second pillar is managing the network, data, and access security. So all data that goes on, off the device, and gets stored on the device. How do we ensure that that end-to-end process is completely secure? And the third piece, which is probably the newest thing we have to worry about with these mobile devices, is protecting the application layer itself. Because unlike your traditional laptop where you just assume it's all sterile, the challenge with a mobile device is, well, I'm downloading apps from app stores. I don't necessarily even know where they came from or who built them or if they're full of malware. So I have to protect applications from other applications. Now, Trusteer fits in this second pillar of network, data, and access security.
Absolutely. Being able to combine Trusteer with the capabilities that we've got from IBM Endpoint Manager to secure the devices, the capabilities of our security access management products to be able to make sure you're doing things in context and secure transactions with the context of the mobile environment, and being able to scan applications to make sure that bad things aren't introduced at application development time. Bringing Trusteer into that portfolio really strengthens our clients' capabilities and allows us to kind of ensure there are secure transactions throughout the mobile environment.
So let's talk about Trusteer as a company.
Yeah.
What are they all about?
Well, Trusteer was a privately held company. They were founded in 2006. They've got offices in Boston, in Tel Aviv, Israel. They've got a little bit more than 230 employees, and tremendous capabilities, really, really strong depth in being able to help organizations with fraud detection, things in the financial services arena like account takeover detection. Tremendous depth there, a lot of really, really smart people that are dedicated to ensuring secure solutions are provided for their clients. And speaking of clients,
but look at the list.
It's a huge list, a very impressive list of customers. 9 of the top 10 U.S. financial institutions, I think 7 of the top 10 U.K. banks, all use Trusteer to really help them provide secure capabilities for their clients. So fantastic set of technology. Speaking of technology, Caleb, why don't you give us a better sense for kind of what are some of the problems we're trying to address here?
Okay, well, there are 3 battles, Phil, that, let's face it, we're losing. The first is us, people, right? We occasionally click on links that we probably shouldn't. We make mistakes. And of course, the minute we make one of those mistakes just one time, we're probably infected with malware. The second thing is systems and application vulnerabilities continue to emerge, right? They continue to emerge because, well, we've got 6 billion mobile devices on the planet now, several billion traditional laptops, and they only continue to grow, as does our usage of data and online services. So the threat landscape is growing. The third thing is malware detection always lags behind the criminals creating the malware to begin with. So traditional signature analysis, where a researcher analyzes what the malware is, comes up with a signature to monitor and look for it, and patches for that, that is just not working. It's not fast enough. And there's 2 major impacts to this, Phil. The first is widespread fraud. It's estimated that there are $3.4 billion lost to online fraud in 2012. In addition to that, 85% of breaches go totally undetected. So how are we going to deal with that? Well, I think that really comes down to looking at this in terms of kind of two key pillars. The first of which is thinking about this in terms of financial fraud. So we're going online, we're working with our bank or insurance company, or maybe we're buying something. Let's detect that financial fraud during the transaction while also protecting our data. You know, the challenge you have if let's say you're a bank is you don't have the kind of control over those devices that you do if it's your employees, right?
Absolutely.
You know, so but you still want the transaction to go through, you still want to be able to manage that, but you certainly don't want to lose somebody's data in the process. Now, the second piece of this though, you know, so we talked about the business to consumer angle. The second piece of this is kind of that business to enterprise angle where, hey, I've got employees. We talked about how traditional, you know, antivirus signature-based analysis isn't working. This gives us the next generation analysis to go find these new APTs, these new malwares as they're emerging on the device.
Absolutely. I think really being able to take advantage of, you know, to plug the Trusteer capabilities in with the solutions we already have around endpoint management and across the rest of the security stack really is going to give us a tremendous amount of depth to really be able to help solve a lot of clients' issues here.
I agree.
If you look at some of the key solutions that Trusteer brings to the table, I mean, really being able to offer their services in a security as a service model is something that so many clients have been looking for. You know, we look across the stack of the capabilities that Trusteer brings to the table, and at the top of the stack really is the ability to do cybercrime intelligence, and putting that together with some of our research teams, our X-Force research teams, and all of the sophisticated threat and risk analysis from our research is really going to grow the overall footprint.
You know, one of the things about this deal that was in the announcement is we're adding 200 people roughly to our security laboratory in Israel. It's going to make it our second largest research laboratory in IBM Security. And you know, we're really excited about this because we can take this information that comes off of, I believe, somewhere around 30 million endpoints that they're managing today and feed that into the IBM X-Force.
Absolutely, absolutely. Having that capabilities and pulling from kind of the other parts of the Trusteer portfolio, they've got capabilities that can ensure the security of laptop environments, of browsers, but really what's important to the mobile first group is the ability to have secure mobile transactions. They've got an SDK that you can package up with your native application, push that out to the consumers or others that you may not have any control over their device, and that application, that set of SDKs can look at what's happening from the device. So what's the IP address, what's the geolocation, other information around the device itself. Can it even attach like a persistent identification so we know which device is coming in at all times? And that really helps us as we're able to, as the Trusteer team is built out, be able to see who's coming in to understand if this is likely to be a secure transaction or not a secure transaction. And that's really going to allow our clients to invest in so many more features and functionality in the mobile space that they before couldn't do because it just wasn't secure. I mean, I know banks that are losing customers because of the capabilities of their mobile banking applications. And if they're not able to keep up with other guys, securely to be able to add a payee from a mobile device, something you'd never really want to do because of the threat that it could pose unless you had a security solution that you can rely on. Trusteer really allows us to help our clients, keep up and stay competitive in that environment.
The thing that I think is really interesting about this chart, Phil, is that we're addressing this challenge with a couple of key capabilities, right? So they have Trusteer Apex, which is focused on that business to employee scenario where you want to be able to identify those new forms of malware right as they're occurring. Trusteer Rappaport, which is something you can actually install on your device. This is something your bank would say, hey, install this. This is going to give you an extra layer of protection when you're shopping online. And of course, the great thing is you only have to install it once, even if you're working with multiple customers of Trusteer. And then the third thing, of course, is this mobile capability we're talking about. And all of this works whether it's an application or you're coming in from a browser.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really just, it's a fantastic set of technology. Being able to have the cloud-based solution here is really going to, help our customers to increase the speed of adoption and take advantage of the capabilities that exist.
Phil, one of the things that I really want to talk about here is kind of a couple of these use cases, because I think we, along with, frankly, the rest of the industry, have been somewhat guilty of, when we talk about security, we're almost always talking about this one use case, which is business to employee, right? BYOD, 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 right? And we and everyone else has been scrambling to really solve that BYOD security use case. Well, the great thing about what's happening here with Trusteer is we're able to add additional capabilities to that BYOD use case to find that malware, but we're able to add a whole new use case, which is that business to consumer use case.
Securing consumer transactions is really an important landscape, and this is really what Trusteer has kind of gained the forefront of, being the leading technology provider for those type of high value transactions, and able to make sure that they're secure. I think when you combine, what Trusteer brings, for those really high secure level transactions, with what we've got with Endpoint Manager, and where you're able to get control of the device and put your code on the device like you would for employees, we're really providing a complete set of offerings here that can help our clients in many, many scenarios. So if you look at what we've got here overall, we've got a fantastic group of people that's joining IBM that are really leaders in their field of security, joining the broader IBM Security team, which is going to allow us to continue to help our clients to provide the features, the functionality they need to help their clients, but to do it in a secure fashion.
Absolutely.
So, I know we just got a press release that's come out today, so we're very happy. Folks can read about more of that online. We've got a couple of links up here where folks can see, to get more information. Additionally, IBM representatives around the world are, embracing the capabilities that we've got from Trusteer, bringing those in with the broader mobile-first portfolio, and really, willing and able to help each of you that are out there that are looking for solutions to take your mobile-first solutions really to the next level of security.
All right. Well, I'm Caleb Barlow.
And I'm Phil Buckellew.
And thanks for joining us.
Thank you.